From the malting lagoon, we're heading over to the seaward side of Freycinet to a bay of exquisite beauty. Well, this is beautiful Wineglass Bay, but it does have an ugly past. Shaped like a wineglass, the waters here once flowed red because of the blood from the whaling station that operated right here. The waters of Wineglass Bay are placid these days, in contrast to the heady days of whaling in the mid-19th century. The thrashing humpbacks took out so many whaling boats, but in the end, it was the whalers who won. So many whales were slaughtered, they were almost wiped out, to the point whaling was no longer viable.
The bottom end here of Wineglass Bay was actually a whaling station in the early 1800s. Whaling ceased here in around 1870, but up until then they hunted the humpback whale, the southern right whale and the Australian fur seal. But now we've got these pristine waters. It's one of the top 10 beaches in the world because it's so well protected. You have to walk to it. You can only come by boat, walking, or see it by air, so it's always well protected. We do have remnants of those days, not so much in the whaling station, but in the water. When the sun's out and it's crystal clear, you can see quite big whale bones, so usually vertebrae and rib bones.
Sad days, happy days these days.
That's right, happy days these days. Now we get to see the whales coming back in greater numbers every year, and it's really exciting for us. So we record all of the whale sightings. We ring the Nature Conservation Branch straight away when we see a whale, and we let them know, and we record it and record what they were doing and where they were.
On the rocks, we pass dozens of cormorants, shags on a rock, drying out after diving these waters for fish. But the animal that really wins our hearts is Rastus. He's the resident pooch on board this Freycinet Sea Cruise catamaran. And as skipper Graham Ellis testifies, Rastus goes into a mode of his own when he spots dolphins.
Rastus? Rastus, dolphins?
You've got this dog. Tell us about this dog.
Okay, now Rastus, he's a working dog, partly sheepdog in there. But basically, he seems to think that he's a dolphin herder. He seems to be able to pick up on dolphins sometimes before we do. We think he can hear the clicking of the dolphins underneath the surface of the water. But once he spots a dolphin, he goes mad. It doesn't matter who's in his way. We do tell people to hang on to the cameras and that. He'll push them right out the way. Funnily enough, for a dog, he's scared of the water, and we sometimes wonder that he's barking at the dolphins to get out of the water, and he's worried for them. But we don't know what makes him tick like that.
Rastus the dolphin dog, a fitting frenzied finale to our Freycinet affair. When next we travel Oz, the back of Burke. Memories of rabbit trappers, paddle wheeling down the Darling River, and life on an outback sheep property. The two Tims take us to the Yarra Valley in Victoria, a flight by hot air balloon, one of Australia's most impressive wildlife sanctuaries, and a rub-down therapy in red wine. And our marathon road trip across Australia finally reaches the top-end capital of Darwin. And that is this episode of Travel Oz. I'm Greg Grainger.
And we're the two Tims. Happy travels!